everyone? We are in the bus today, working on getting this strapping put in. We had to kind of figure it all out in our minds, figure out how we're going to deal with these sidewalls that we couldn't completely remove, and all that fun stuff. So we have been planning for a little while. Now we're going to start getting everything screwed in. So yeah, that is today. That is the plan for today. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Okay, so I started cutting little pieces of strapping for the very bottom row of strapping. Since the structural anchor points for the seats were there, I did not want 2 layers of strapping going across the metal and having all of those thermal bridging points. So I cut them into little 3-inch pieces to be secured at the very bottom row. Just a little reminder, everybody does stupid things. I almost fell over into my dad. Don't know what happened here, but just make sure to laugh at yourselves. So I started securing those little pieces to the structural steel using Tex self-drilling wood to metal screws. Holy crap, you guys, these are amazing. There is no pre-drilling required. They just go straight in there and snug that wood up nice and tight to the metal. I highly recommend those. Screwing the screws in at the floor level was honestly a pain in the ass. I had a really hard time getting leverage and not slipping on the floor while pushing hard enough. So I'm pretty glad my dad was there to help me when I could not get the screws in. After we got that bottom level done, we just moved up to the second row. This row was a little different since it wasn't against full metal sheets. This was just the normal strapping doubled up to give me a 1.5 thickness. We staggered the boards so the seams were enforced. And yeah, I mean, it definitely took a lot longer than I thought. A lot of times starting a new project like this, it takes a lot of deliberation. Every single bus is different, and so I had to figure out like what the quirks were on my bus before we went into this project. So even though you can get all the advice in the world, you still have to be really adaptable and fluid with how you handle the situation because, like I said, my bus had a little bit of a different thing than somebody else's bus whose videos I watched to do this. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, for the most part, we had a great time. We figured out a good system, and when we get back on the strapping again, we'll be able to get a ton of work done in a short amount of time because we already have our system figured out. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, you guys. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't.